Welcome, everybody, to the show. This is Inside the Booth. I'm your host, Dan Arena, the Law. And next to me is Tabitha, Dreaming Tabitha. And our
Hello.
special guest today, you already see him, is Les McDowell, or as some people call him, Lester.
Yeah.
Yes,
I've
welcome,
been called a
welcome to
lot
the
of
show.
things, but yeah, it's great to be back on here. Congratulations on what your show's doing. It's really doing well, and you're getting a lot of followers and viewers. And congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I'm new here, so have you been on the show before?
Yes.
Oh,
Before
okay.
you came on,
Yeah,
it was a little bit before you came
yeah.
on.
Well,
Oh,
before you
okay,
were
because you
born,
guys,
Elizabeth. Uh, yeah,
you guys are acting like you know
you were
each
just
other,
a
so it's
thought to
like
your mother and father.
I'm older than I look. But yeah, we're glad to have you here. I mean, it's my first time seeing and being with you, so thank you for coming on to the show. I had no idea you'd been here before.
I tried telling you a long time ago.
Yeah,
But that's
one other
I
time.
wasn't listening. I don't listen to
a
Dan when he
Long time
talks.
ago.
Just
long time ago. Um, probably some of the questions might be similar to what we asked long ago
not
when
my
we had like
questions.
5 people, subscribe to the channel. Um,
Right.
but we have a bigger number now. So
That's right.
yes,
We are gaining ground on 700, guys. Thank you
now,
to everybody that's been
close.
hanging
I
out with us and hanging around.
That's
That's
great.
right.
That's great. Congratulations. I'm proud of you and your brother and Tabitha for making it. We're a lot of folks are tuning in now. That's great.
Yeah.
That's it. We got 7 people right now watching.
Oh,
Um, I
they'll
just
come.
I just came back from working on the horse and stuff. So here I
As am
am.
I, if you
You know,
cannot tell.
that's right. We
You
just
know.
we all just got
Oh,
done being Western people.
Yes.
oh, good. Well, you look
Nice.
good, and I like that you wore the hat for our interview, Dan. The
I brought
hat
a
looks
Oh
great
yeah.
on
cactus.
you.
Oh well, thank you.
So
I tried to kind of look like you a little bit, in your shows.
We just did a show here. For those of you out there that tuned in that don't know, uh, I'm the creator of Dry Creek, which was a television series we did for a number of years, and we were fortunate enough to win honorable mention in New York against Disney and everybody at the Cable Fax Awards. But we have a studio here, which is I think the only Western set in Florida, and we rent it out for motion picture and television, that type of thing. And we just did a show here called The Hanging of William Kane. And I think I'm the only, what do they call that? Hangman's uh, noose and all that's set up here on a ranch where we just filmed this. Uh,
Oh
and
nice.
RJ Hendricks is the writer of that. Last year, he did one here called Killer Miller, and it won 42 international and national awards in the short film.
oh wow.
So we
Oh,
really feel good about this one.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
So, with that being said, tell us a little bit
And I get to
about
play
yourself.
sheriff.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
You are a sheriff. What are
so
you
you
talking?
are the law, not Dan.
Yeah.
That's
You
right.
Yeah. I played sheriff in this one, and I got a really good part. In the last one, Killer Miller, I got a fairly good part, and I was, we're supposed to be humble, and I want to be humble when I say this, but I was nominated for 2 Best Supporting Actor nominations for that internationally, and I came back on this one, and got a lot bigger part, and it's in post production right now, and I really feel good about it. I really do.
good.
So we'll see what happens there.
You're gonna have to
But
try
I
to
think the
find.
Western guys are coming back.
Oh,
I
sure.
think the Western's coming back with Yellowstone, which is a modern day Western. Also, I think with 1883, the Sheraton thing. And I really feel that it's coming back. I've waited a long time, and I think that a lot of people have waited a long time, especially my age, because they grew up with the Western and with their watching with their dad and their grandfather and stuff. So it's a very exciting time for the Old West now.
Yeah, kind of like a revival, if you will, of, that genre, because we haven't really had a good Western in quite a long time. And some people might be familiar with the new Western that Gina Carano made, Terror on the Prairie. And I've heard a lot of great things about that because it's a Western, like without any agenda in it. And people are like, yes, bring back. So apparently Westerns are becoming popular or wanted, at least that they're wanting to become popular again. So that would be exciting. I like Westerns myself.
Yeah, well, one of the first things that was ever done on film was called The Great Train Robbery, and that was the first film. I believe Griffin did it in 1909, and it was the first film that was done that told a story on film. It was the Great Train Robbery, and so here we come full circle to today, and I'll tell you, the Western has this. You've got to show love. You got to show compassion. You've got to have the bad guy, and the Western always has that. And I think that many people, I don't care where you came from, you want to get back to your roots, and that is the Western. Of doing right, right from wrong. Helping your neighbor, that type of thing, which I think that we kind of need to get back into today. And
protecting family.
So that's what the Western brings.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, are you a
for instance? I've always said,
sorry.
No, I've just always said that Michael Landon today in 2022 NBC would not run Little House on the Prairie. It would be too controversial, which is sad if you really think about it. Yeah. But today I think people are wanting more of that, of Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah.
Yes. Like family values and adventure, wholesome entertainment that is also exciting. It's missing very much in our culture these days.
As a creator of Dry Creek, I always said there's no bad guys. There's people that do things that are bad, and people can change, so you don't lump them off as good guys or bad guys, but just people that are finding their way, and that's what the Western does. Going back to Shane and all those is finding redemption, and I think that's what the Western brings to the stage, is redemption.
Definitely.
Is that
so?
heavy?
You have any questions?
It seems a little heavy, but it's true.
No, it's good. Sometimes it gets pretty deep
today.
Here.
Well, it seems that a lot of the filmmakers today, zombie, that type of thing, and I'm all for what any filmmaker wants to do. I'm all for that, and I really mean that. But it's just my genre, and what I was raised in, and what I love is the Western, and the stories never change. There's always a bad guy and a good guy, and there's a love interest and a not love interest. And stories just don't change,
and a horse here and there,
and a couple horses, maybe a
wagon. Well, as Will Rogers said, there's something. Oh yeah, like Will Rogers said, there's something about the inside of a horse. The outside of a horse that's good for the inside of mankind, and that's true. We all love animals. Well, look at my little fur baby right here. Can you see that?
Oh, how
I've got
sweet.
dogs all
What a
around me.
cutie.
Sir. He's got a frisbee, and here it is, 25 after 9, but he wants to go play.
Oh. You said something about you live on a ranch. Like, are you an authentic cowboy or you just like the style?
I'm a show business cowboy, and
Okay.
what I mean by that, I like to keep the West alive. I do. I'm a writer, of course, and I do cowboy poetry, and it's more Americana stuff. I've got 5 CDs out with John McEwen from the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band that you guys might not know because you're too young, but they had a lot of hits, Mr. Bojangles and different things, and I'm doing some fairs with a cowboy camp and stuff, and then still doing westerns as an actor. Um, so that's kind of what I'm up to. I mean, this is kind of my thing. Though this year I did play a judge, acting as a judge, and what else did I do? But the main thing was a judge. I make a pretty hardcore judge, by the way. You don't want to come in front of me.
Nice. That's good. We need a couple of hardcore judges these days,
For real.
especially this time, this day and age.
We have somebody in the comment section that wants to know if you have a favorite John Wayne movie, and if you do, what is it?
Mine would be the Cowboys.
Ah,
The Cowboys was probably one of my best John Wayne movies. He did so many, great movies, but the Cowboys would probably be one with Bruce Dern that played a terrible bad guy, and that was the only film that John Wayne was actually shot in and died
oh,
in. Of all the films
yeah,
he
it's
did all of his
true.
life, the Cowboys was the one. And
Yeah.
they used real young cowboys that were in the circuit and then taught other actors to play. But I would say that was probably one of my best movies of John Wayne is the Cowboys.
Hmm. I've always been a fan of McClintock myself. It's a
Oh
good one.
yeah, you can't go wrong. Well, sir, there's a lot of great ones. How about this one? Let me just see how much of a Western uh, person you are. Well, you see, I've been doing motion pictures for years, you see. And my wife and I, she's been in a few Westerns with me. Well, that would be Jimmy Stewart for uh, people that would know that. And
I was
he
going to go
did
with
many
Foghorn
Westerns too.
Leghorn, but okay.
See, now you're telling your age because if you didn't know Stewart, and there was another. I love character actors, and that's I'm no longer a sex symbol. Actually, I was never a sex symbol as an actor. I never was. but
Maybe
I've
there's
been
a
I've
group
been
out there. You
more of
don't
a
know.
yeah. There might be someone, but I've always loved the
Sure.
character actor. The character actor, and that's what I've really turned into anymore. And here's one that you guys would never know because you're too young. But if you have anybody over 30, they would know it. Well, maybe 35. It would be Walter Brennan. You see, Walter Brennan was in a lot of John Wayne movies. You see, and he always played the deputy sheriff or something like that. So that's
Good
what I've
impression.
gotten into lately is the character actors.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what is the difference? What
You're
exactly
going,
do you
what
mean
the
when you
heck?
say exactly do you mean when you say a character actor? For those that don't know, what does that mean?
Well, there would be a leading man like Tom Cruise, and he's your lead, our female lead. That would be the pretty sophisticated this and that, and then the character actor would be the one that always adds flavor. When you're making great chili, you've always got to put sauces and stuff in, and that would be the actor that would just be the best friend that might be kind of with a with an accent or something like that, would be more of a character. And
Right.
Okay.
Goofy guy.
Lee Marvin, yeah. So that's kind of what a character actor is.
Okay.
Cool.
Interesting.
Very nice.
Mhm.
Okay, for
Interesting.
instance, have you guys watched Yellowstone?
I
Have you watched
haven't.
Yellowstone at all?
No.
I
Okay,
haven't.
I'm trying to think of something you might have watched. A character actor in Star Wars, which Dan, I know that you're a big Star Wars guy,
Yeah.
would be that R2D2 or whatever.
The C3PO.
Okay,
See,
the little guy that looks, yeah, yeah, the guy that looks like a can. That's a
Yep,
character
that one
actor.
too. Yep.
He's not
Okay.
your leading guy. Yeah, who
Right.
would be your leading guy on Star Wars?
Jar Jar
Um,
Binks.
Skywalker,
Or no,
right?
so I thought you meant character actor. I was like Jar Jar Binks would be probably another character actor, but
leading actor would probably be
Yeah. See,
Luke
they add the
Luke
Skywalker.
Skywalker. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, I would figure that Luke would be your main guy. You know, your kind
Mhm.
of lead actor, and then the other ones, and I don't know a lot of the character. I'm sorry, but I'm a Western guy. But the guy that looks like an ape,
Chewbacca.
with the
Yeah, Chewbacca.
big paw. Yeah, that's a character actor. That's the
Okay.
character actor. And they add the flavor to that. Yeah.
I got
Nice.
one behind
Hey,
me.
this is like two worlds coming together, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
It is.
This is like
You're
two worlds.
delayed just like 2 seconds or something.
Well, I saw that some clips from your show, The Dry Creek and everything with we were talking about horses and stuff like that. Like how much experience, like professional experience do you have with riding horses? And like is that something you've always done? It came naturally to you or
Yeah, I've been around horses all my life. Like I told you before, I'm not a cowboy. I'm a show business cowboy. My dad bought me a burro because we couldn't afford a horse. So I had this little $30 burro, and always wanted a horse. And then as I got to be 16, 15, whatever, I started getting horses and learning to rope and stuff like that. But my aspirations were always in the show business part. And I'll tell you a quick story from my book, The Road Less Traveled, Roping a Dream, that I had sent Dan. Is I met Roy Rogers. Now you guys have heard of Roy Rogers, right?
yeah. Oh, is that the book?
There it
Oh,
is.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Is when I was a little kid, my dad was a carpenter, and he would we lived in California, and he would say, "Hey, I was out by Roy Rogers' ranch, and let's go out there after church on a Sunday." So we took a Sunday drive out there, and here comes Roy Rogers up his drive, and he's got in a Corvair, and I said, "Man, this is Roy Rogers," and he says, "Yeah, and this is my horse," and he pointed to his Corvair, which he advertised, and then he said that his famous horse, Trigger, was down in the pen, and this and that, and we went down and saw that as a family, but Dad would always take me to a place called Corriganville. It was where they filmed Ren 1010 and so many of the 1950s and 60s Western. And we would go there, and I was just enthralled by it and wanting to do that. And so that's really why I ended up today with a Western town in my backyard. I never grew up just loving the Western way of life.
You say a Western town in your backyard?
Yeah, we have a movie set back there, and we did Dry Creek, the television series that we did for about 5 years, and it was built for that reason, for the television series. And we were fortunate enough to win with no budget or anything. We went to New York City to the Cable Fax Awards, and we got honorable mention for family programming. And then when I came back, Hollywood got involved, and we did a Dry Creek movie, and it never went anywhere. And I think it was, I don't want to say politically or anything, but we started this conversation by telling you that Michael Landon couldn't get Little House on NBC today. And I don't want to get into anything political, but we did things like that, your handshake and your word, things like that. The Prayer Warrior, just wholesome family programming. It's hard to sell today, and the timing wasn't right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you do with that little town these days?
Sad. We rent it out for motion pictures, and we've had several things shot there, from the History Channel to the Vacation Channel to the guy that played the $6 Million Man, Lee Majors. They did a motion picture here called the Wild Bill Hickok Swift Justice. And we've been fortunate enough to rent it out to quite a bit of television things and motion picture things. And like I just said, we just did the Hanging of William Cain here, and we've been staying pretty busy, though it's not something that is just keeping me busy, you know.
Wow. It's pretty cool.
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
My wife and I were fortunate enough. Do you remember Little House on the Prairie?
I used to watch it as a kid. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Kevin Hagen, who played Doc Baker, was a dear friend of my wife and I's. And I had a stop arthritis wagon train out in California to raise money for arthritis. And then I'd have a big country show, and I would have several grand marshals. And one of them was Kevin Hagen, who played Doc Baker, and the other was Catherine McGregor, who played Mrs. Olson. And I guess the reason why I'm telling you the story is I feel honored that the last week they did Little House on the Prairie, that Kevin, who played Doc Baker, invited my wife and I out to the set to watch him film. And we got to see Landon film his last week of Little. We were just there a day, but the last week of Little House on the Prairie, we got to see him work. And there was just so many great stories, and what a great filmmaker and storyteller Michael Landon was. You know, he was always my hero. You know, and we got to watch that out on that ranch, and actually on our movie set back here, we actually have the anvil that was on Little House on the Prairie in the blacksmith shop that they gave us, and we brought all the way. So it's been pretty cool. I've got a lot of Michael Landon stories.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
Dan, some people are commenting on your outfit.
Yes, I saw that.
Yes, they are.
Telling me I look like I'm dressed as an Undertaker. And then you got Rogue saying I look like you'd be in the Wish version of
True Grit.
That's it.
Nice.
That's it.
Wow.
I wish.
Now, a baby boomer like me would say, and this is going to go way over your head, and I don't think there's anybody, but you look like Paladin. He wore all black and a black hat and stuff, and it was a television series out of the 60s. But no, you look good. You look good.
Well, thank you.
Mighty kind of you, yeah.
Mighty kind, sir. Hats off to you.
Sure.
Now you sound like a Georgian plantation owner, Dan.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't do accents.
Started to sound a little bit sophisticated. Some deep south there, yeah.
Deep south.
Oh my goodness.
So I did see Dan on a thing that he did that I commented when we were on the phone the other day. You did a really, really neat promo for the show, where I'm trying to think of what you were doing, what you were dressed as, but it was great, man. It was a character. You did a great job. I'd hire you.
Joker. You'd hire me? Sweet. Well, I'm coming to be in a movie with you then. Let your director friend know.
Okay,
that I'm
good.
Oh, the Cowboy Joker, is that what Dan's going to be? Like the Western Joker?
Oh, there you go. It would work.
Nice little character crossover. That'd be pretty cool.
It would be.
Yeah.
We I don't know, Dan, you were switching up the format. We have gone to 25
Yes.
minutes. Did you want to say hi to some people?
Yes, we will. We will do our commercial now. Tabitha, take it away.
Take it away. Guys, you know what month it is? It is Manflix month, and we've got some new merchandise in the store. What it is we do here? What is it? We have all kinds of stuff.
What is this place? What is it that you do here? Merchandising. Merchandising, merchandising, where the real money from the movie is made.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And with that being said, you can get your very own Manflix Month shirt that has been a year in the making. If you guys have been around inside the booth for a very long time, you know the joke is that what makes a movie a man's movie, a hardcore man's movie, is, of course, the campfire. If it doesn't have a campfire, it's not really a man's movie. You think of the movie Air Force One, not a real man's movie. No campfires. Just because things blow up and gunshots are going off and people are bleeding out the side of their face, it's not really a man's movie unless it's got a campfire. My shirt should be here tomorrow. If you go to the description box down below, go to our TeePublic store, you can get not just shirts, but you can get mugs and you can get notepads and all this kind of stuff with pillows, and it reads. I wish I had my shirt right now so I could show it to you, but it says Instant Manflix, just add campfire, and that all goes to supporting the channel. And of course, if you would like to just make a one-time donation, you could just hit us up on our PayPal link in the description box below. But we got some fun merch. We got some cool stuff. Check it out.
That's it. That's right, Tabitha. Thank you.
Right. Rogue Disney would like to point out that there's no campfires in Ghostbusters, Dan.
Well, there is roasting marshmallows, though.
That doesn't constitute a campfire, though, does it? Does it? That's
right,
always the never-ending question we have. What
That's it. Well, before we keep going, let's say hello to all of those who have commented from the beginning.
Yeah.
We got Jacob Ironside. What's up,
Hey,
buddy?
Jacob.
How are you? We got Mrs. R2 the Icky, Chris the Geek. We got TD Gunter. What's up, TD? Or JT? Yeah,
JT.
JT.
We got the Captain America and Deadpool crossover there.
Yeah,
TD Gunter.
R2 the Icky. What's up? Justin Proper. He came in and he said, actually, I got off work early. Can watch more of a stream. That's sweet.
There you go. Hey, Justin.
Thank you. We got Dale Cruz, Avery's brother.
Oh, hey,
up,
Dale.
buddy? How are you? Thank you for
Wing
joining
hugs.
us. Wing hugs for your brother and for you. And then we got Little Spidey.
Oh, Spidey.
We got Rogue Disney. And we got Mike
Likes tacos. Mm-hmm.
Those are
Says
all
brought to you by these fine products. That's right. Only 5 easy payments of $9.95 plus shipping and handling. But wait, there's more.
Yes, that's right. There is more.
Always more. That's right.
Someone said Danny Cash. JT said that to me. Yes.
Dan-
Kind of like Johnny Cash wearing black.
Zachariah Khan says Dan Eastwood. There you go.
There you go. I like that one. All right.
You gotta squint a little harder there, though, Dan.
I got squint. That's all I do in life is squint. Look at my eyes, everybody.
They're never fully open.
I got no eyes.
That's very Western. That's very Clint Eastwood-ish to squint like that. You got to squint.
There you go.
Looking. That's like Clint Eastwood.
That's it. My eyes always look like they're closed.
Especially when you smile.
Yeah, exactly. Fun.
Rogue Disney says he's pretty sure there's a campfire in Steel Magnolias. So does that make it a man flick? Yes, it does.
Yes.
Well,
Les has campfires in his show that he made, Dry Creek. So,
of course,
man show.
Yeah.
Man show.
That's
Absolutely.
it. By the way, Les,
we learned something.
No, go ahead.
We learned something. Dry Creek when filming, it's never a real campfire, but it's the light that goes. Looks like fire. because you get smoke and everything, and the actors are sitting around the campfire trying to do a scene, going, or the smoke comes. You know how it is when the campfire, comes.
Yeah.
You got to go rabbit. Yeah, and so you always use just the bulb. But anyway, pretty cool.
Pretty neat to know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, no, wait a minute. Does that make me bad because we didn't use a real campfire?
See, so then
I'm out of the
you have to
club.
wonder, is it really manly then? Do they all only use bulbs? Like, have we just been deceived throughout cinema history? Like,
Just
question
forget about
everything
what I
now.
said. Forget about what I said. Yeah. You're going to have to cancel the t-shirts and everything. Just forget everything I
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
Okay, I will. I'll forget about it.
Forget about what? Yeah, exactly.
Forget about what? What are we talking about? Yeah. So, also, since it is, Masculinity Month for us here at Inside the Booth, Happy Father's Day, Les.
Oh, yes.
And Happy Father's Day.
Thank you very
to
much.
You're welcome. Happy Father's Day to everybody else out there who have kids, and even if you don't have kids, I guess apparently some people say furry kids.
Fur babies?
Maybe.
Nobody ever says furry kids, Dan. Not a single person calls them furry kids. That just sounds creepy.
It's not quite the same, but I guess you're
Sounds
taking
creepy.
care of some. Yeah.
This is my furry kid. Sounds like Esau.
Over here.
Tabitha,
But
I
anyway.
like you're
I try. I like to tease
so
Dan.
where
give him a
we're
hard
going to
time.
go from here?
Where to go from here?
More questions for you, I guess.
So I would like to know, since I was
You-
under the impression that you were new around these parts, and apparently I'm the one that's new around here. What is your formal training as an actor? Like, did you start when you were a child? Is it something that you got into later? Like, did you go to school for it?
No, in the old days, I was born in 1953. I'll be honest with you. So it makes me 68, 69 years old. 68. I'll be 69.
If you're
but when I
lying, you
started out
can
in
look it
show
up on the
business,
internet.
everybody started.
So.
Yeah. I started out getting in radio. And I got into radio, and I was fortunate enough in 2003 to win a CMA award for Country Music Association Show of the Year, being a part of that show, Major Market, which was like the Academy Award for radio. But I got hung up in radio because I had kids. I was a father and married a great woman, and I couldn't go into my acting and be a starving actor. So at this point, just the last 11 years, I was able to turn into what I wanted to do, and that would be acting, and get away from radio and that type of thing. My training was mostly I did some theater. I've done. I played Little Abner in Ojai, California, where Bruce Jenner, you guys heard of Caitlin or Bruce, came and watched me play Little Abner on opening night in Ojai, because he was opening up in Los Angeles and doing it. And at the time, he was married to Linda Thompson, and came out to see me. And I did some theater and stuff like that, and did some industrial hosting. I wanted to be a game show host, and because you only work one day a week, on Saturday you go in and do five shows for a game show, and got with a big agency in Los Angeles and stuff for that. But now, later in life, I've really been able to switch and go to my main love, which is acting. I love to act and be an actor, so that's kind of what I'm doing now.
That's
Wonderful.
awesome. Awesome. So,
Well, training for acting is living life, and that's really where the training comes in. You can go to acting school and everything else, but we're all actors every day. You're an actor when you go to the bank and you don't feel good and you got to go wait in a line somewhere and it's okay or whatever. And you're acting because you're really irritated and stuff. And it's just being yourself. And Gary Cooper, which was one of the greatest Western actors of all time, getting back to the Western genre, always said that acting was reacting. And that's what John Wayne said. John Wayne had no training whatsoever. He said that acting was reacting. If you say something, it's how I react to you. And that's what acting's all about, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. Would you say that's what a difference is between
That's why I'm really mad right now. And see, I could really, what I mean? I'm really mad right now because whatever, and I hadn't had my coffee right now.
Well, calm down. Calm down, sir. We're all friends here. Would you say that that's what a big difference between actors of today versus of years ago? Like, would you say there's a kind of a divide there, or does it affect it differently as far as just the production and everything like that?
That is a really good question. And I'll answer it by saying this way, and boy, don't strike me dead, God. But if you look at some of the old bonanzas, some of the old Gunsmokes that are on TV now, constantly running, some of the acting was terrible. It was just terrible. But some great actors came out of that, But if you really watch some of the old westerns and some of the old TV shows, Bewitched and stuff like that, you'll see some really terrible acting. But I think that, gosh, listen to me. I shouldn't talk because I'm not a great actor. I'm not a great actor at all. But I think that some people make it to be too hard and too complicated when it's really just reacting.
Interesting.
Just reacting.
That's really interesting because I've heard of some actresses that focus so much on becoming the character that they're trying to portray that I'll just say I've heard this one actress. She was working so hard to become the actress or the character she wanted to portray that she actually had a nurse on staff with her to basically try to help her remember that she was not that character and was kind of like a therapist to her to bring her back into reality. Would you say that's taking the job too seriously, too far, or do you think that's commendable?
I would say it would be too far, but too far for me, maybe not too far for her. My wife and I was talking about something. We've worked with actors. Yeah, we've worked with actors before and stuff that get in the get in their own world, and you don't walk up to them on a set. And I've never seen this, but I've heard of professional actors that say, "Don't look at me in the eye." Have you ever heard that, Dan? Don't look. Don't ask. No little questions. Don't look at the actor in the eye. But you can, if you're really doing a dramatic scene or something and you're preparing for it. The thing that got me on a set is when one of my buddies would come up and start laughing and giggling just before I'm going to do a set where I've got to act like I'm crying or actually cry or something or be upset. It just ruins your whole. It gets you out of what you need to be in, that space. Mm-hmm. So I can understand that. So it does get technical and artsy, I guess.
Yeah. I could see that.
Someone is asking me where my tobacco is. I don't have real tobacco, but I do have a old-fashioned pipe over here. I'll put that in my mouth real quick.
Oh, I've got one of those too from my grandfather, but I just keep it on the shelf as a memento there. Dan's got it all there. What?
It's really dusty and gross.
He does. There it is.
You know what? A lot of actors. There you go.
Hey.
What they use for tobacco. in the movie is raisins. They'll chew on raisins, and that's their tobacco, like they're chewing tobacco. Mr. Edwards did that on Little House on the Prairie. It was all raisins. He told me that.
There we go.
You look very debonair, by the way.
That's
oh, there you go.
Thank you.
Smells good though.
You got to clean them out, Tabitha. Smells.
It's all
good.
legal.
Clean them.
It's all legal.
It is clean. It is clean. What?
Okay. All right. Good.
You don't use this, Dan.
I bought a really neat pipe one time it was made out of a horn, like a deer horn. And
cool.
I got in the car. I was so happy getting this, and it just smelled illegal. Like, oh man, I don't have a problem with it. But it was a regular old pipe. And it got stolen from me from the set I told you about, Wild Bill Hickok and Swift Justice. Somebody took it home with them. They were using it, in the.
Oh, jeez.
And they took it. Maybe they got high from it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's why it smells so bad.
Well, yeah. Enough about me. What do you guys think of me?
I think you're pretty great.
That's an actor's line.
Yeah. You're awesome.
You got to remember that actor's.
Oh, so you could be lying this whole time. You could be a horrible person, but that's okay. It's the internet. We all could be horrible people, and nobody would ever know.
Nobody would know.
Except for Jesus, but he didn't count.
Yeah. Speaking of Jesus, I will tell you this, that I couldn't get two people to wash my truck, but because of Dry Creek and the people that we had come to build the sets and the people, it was all due to the Lord. And I will tell you that it's not Les McDowell. It has nothing to do with Les McDowell. It all has to do with the Lord. And I always take my hat off to him and thank him where it's supposed to be done, and he gets all the credit, for anything that we've done with the set. And it hasn't been that spectacular. I'm not coming on like I've got a Disney World out there or something. We're just trying to make ends meet and have fun and enjoy the arts and see people revel in them and learn and in film and television and music and different things. But anyway, enough said. But that's really who guides this ship.
That's good. Yeah, I appreciate that. So speaking of Jesus and saying that Jesus is did God tell you build it and they will come? Is that is that what happened? I'm joking.
It's funny you mentioned that, but my wife and I would sit out there in the evening, and she'd say, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm building in front of a general store." And she says, "Why are you building it?" And I said, "I don't know, because I got fired from radio. We were in a 5-year contract with CBS, and we got fired at the 4 years. And I was making pretty good money at the end of my contract, but yet here I am going out and doing this." And so I finally figured out that it was because I do cowboy poetry, and I was making sets, and I made these little 2-minute, 3-minute things that I learned how to put up on YouTube. And my Facebook went from 150 to 5,000 almost overnight of people enjoying the dream, what I was doing with the set and stuff. So we would often sit out there, and it was like the Kevin Costner movie, build it and they will come. And matter of fact, it's funny you mentioned that, because my son would be here, and when we had a shoot at one time, we'd have like 200 people here, and cars coming in and in and in, and big trucks and generator trucks and dressing room trucks. And if you Google my name and Dry Creek, you'll find like 6 pages or 7 pages on Google that just from newspaper articles and different things. Not from me or what I did, but people wanting family programming. People are hungry for family programming. And they're reaching out for it, and that's what they did with us. And that was the main joke: build it, and they will come. And I kind of felt like Kevin Costner with the Field of Dreams.
There you go. I like that.
How long did it take to build the town?
We built a few false fronts, and then people would come in and say, "I've got lumber, or I've got this or that to donate," and they would come in. Then all of a sudden, we had carpenters coming in, and I would say the town was pretty much built in probably 3 years. Once we did the series, when we needed a corral or a mill or something for a scene that I would write, then we would add that. And just like we needed a bank out there for a film we just did, The Hanging of William Kane, and the general store, their carpenters came and built an inside of a bank, which looks great. I mean, It looks like the inside of a bank. That was the general store. So they'll build certain things and then leave it, like the hangman's, what's that called? Gallows. The hangman's gallows out there, which we got. So I said, just leave it,
Yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Do you have a like a police station? Not police station. What is it? Sheriff. Building with some bars.
Yeah.
The jail.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not a Western without a jail.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, because when Wild Bill Hickok's Swift Justice came, it was out of Los Angeles, and they had heard of us, and the production manager came up to me and says, "Man, if you had a jail, we could give you 3 more days," and they were paying pretty good money to stay here. And I said, "Well, okay, I'll build you a jail if you'll give me 3 more days." Well, I went on YouTube and how to build a jail cell, and I used PVC piping and painted it black, and went to Home Depot and got the stuff. And the jail cell we just used it in The Hanging of William Kane and Killer Miller and stuff, and it looks like the real deal, man. Now I should go up and try and rattle the bars,
Yeah. Right. As long as it looks good on camera. That's all that
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Interesting. That's pretty cool. Like a
getting
community
back
of people helping to build.
Yeah. One of the things, getting back to acting, that I enjoy is coming up, once you learn your lines and everything, then you can start putting flavor into your character and what you want to do. What are you going to do with your hands? What are you going to do with your face, and this and that? And when RJ Hendricks wrote the script to Killer Miller, he had me as the sheriff. I had this long scene with a prisoner there who's about ready to get hung, and he had me drinking coffee, out of a tin cup, and getting it and everything. And I said, I want to try something different. And have you guys ever seen a guy eat an apple with a pocket knife and talk at the same time? He's sitting there and going, with the off the blade. Well, I saw this on. My dad used to do that. My dad would say, "So, you're going to play basketball this year, huh?" Well, are you going to go to practice every time? Cut it with his knife. Give me advice. And so I saw a thing on Facebook that reminded me of that. It says, if an older man, which I'm not an older man, gives you advice while cutting an apple and eating it with his pocket knife, you better take his advice. So that's what I did during that scene, and it turned out really pretty cool, doing that. Just something to do with your hands. Other actors and stuff, or actresses, know what I'm talking about. What do you do with your hands? What's the rest of your body doing when you're reacting or whatever?
That's pretty cool.
So look at he's got. You're taking Dan's taking an apple and a pocket knife out right now and starting to interview the rest of the interview with me with that. Yeah, that's it.
That's why Dan went
There
for the
you
pipe.
go.
Do something with his hands.
That's right.
Yeah.
I do have a knife here somewhere in this pile of junk.
Of course you do, Dan. Of course you do. I'm sure you've
Can't
got an apple stowed away somewhere too. I probably
That's
wouldn't
it.
recommend eating it, but I wouldn't doubt you've got it in there somewhere. Dan's like a cartoon, can just pull whatever he needs to out of nowhere. Have
That's
it
it.
just for the right occasion. He's like Batman.
Well, there used to be an old, my son used to watch, so you guys might remember Mr. Gadget. Do you remember that? That was a
I know
cartoon where he had a
Inspector
bag and he'd
Gadget.
pull every.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Jared, my son used to watch that as a kid. Oh, look at him. There you go. There you go. You look like a real man there. That's better than a campfire.
Now you got to start shaving your
That's
beard
really-
with that. Like, yeah, there you go. Oh, that's not a
Not
good
sharp
angle.
enough.
That's not a good angle at all.
I need to go up.
No.
It's not even that sharp, so it's not gonna do anything.
250 ways to shave off your face. Yeah.
Exactly. Oops, there's the nose. There it went.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't grow back, you know.
That's why the pipe is better, right?
Right. There you go. That's cool. Nice. So.
I like it. She's going, okay, now what do we ask the old cowboy about?
I just don't know if Dan has any other questions. I'm like, I don't want to be the only one asking questions around here.
No,
Dan's saying, I could get. Dan's saying, oh, if it was about Star Wars, I could keep him on for 5 or 6 hours. I mean, I got all kinds of questions with Star Wars. But the Western genre? Oh, my goodness.
No, I like westerns. I like westerns. Have you seen that movie Django? That's a pretty bloody.
No, I'll be really honest with you. And man, I know this seems to make me an old fogey. I just didn't like the language that I saw in Django. And I just
it was.
It wasn't needed, and that's one of those movies that I saw some of the clips from. And have you guys ever went to a movie theater and everybody said, "Hey, what's this movie? What's this movie? You're gonna love it." And or they bring a DVD or whatever it is now, or stream something, and they go, "You're gonna love this," and you end up sitting back on the couch going, "Oh my gosh, this is terrible," but you're stuck for 2 hours watching this crap. They like it.
Yeah.
I thought it was. I thought it was just because of the language and stuff. I'm not a prude. I really am not, and I can take language, but I just didn't. Next question.
Cowboys and Aliens. You ever seen Cowboys and Aliens?
There you go.
I like that one. I
like that one too. It was different. It was really cool.
I thought it was.
Oh
weird.
yeah. I'm not stuck in the old West. Trust me, I like some of the new stuff too.
What about?
But I
Tombstone?
like things, and that's what Dry Creek are serious. Oh, Tombstone, yeah. See the Western. I'm going to teach you kids a lesson. The old Roy Rogers and stuff like that. That wasn't the real West. Okay, the gun smokes. That wasn't the real West. The cowboy hats looked like tacos, and the handkerchiefs went up around the neck like that, and even Little Joe's pants were like peg pants and up. But the second coming, if you could talk about a second coming of the Western, was, what do you think it would have been?
John Wayne.
No, that was the first. It would have to be Lonesome Dove. When Lonesome Dove came out, the whole Western genre changed because the hats were right, the boots were right, the look, everything was right. That was the second coming of the Western, was Lonesome Dove. And thank you to Robert Duvall, you talk about a character actor, is probably one of the best. But That's when the Western changed right there. It was that one.
Okay, interesting. That's pretty cool.
I'm gonna look at some pictures right
Yeah.
now.
Well, let's make a fire and really make it guys talk. I'm gonna make a fire up. let's make a fire. What do you think?
Does anybody else in your family act? Oh, look at that.
The dog acts.
My wife does. My wife is a better actor than I am, and it's funny when we were doing Dry Creek, she came up with a character, and Miss Victoria, that kind of owned the town. She was like the Miss Olson on Little House on the Prairie, and I was thinking, oh yeah, I think that even in college, her major was drama. Or something like that. But anyway, she just tore it apart. She's a really good actress, and she really pulled it out. I'll tell you a real quick story, and that was we were about ready to shut down. We lost the network and stuff like that on Dry Creek, and the director came up to me and said, "Listen, we're kind of out of money, and as far as doing this and that, but I want you to write a script. I want you to write a script for me and just have your wife and you act in it. That way we won't have to pay any extras. We don't have to bring any extra horses in, pay for this, that, or whatever." And I wrote a show called My Rose. And Connie and I did it in the woods out here. Like, she wrecked a buggy and she was on her way to give flowers to her husband who died in the Civil War. And I was on the way to a cow camp with roses to give to my wife. And I see a rose floating down. She has a buggy wreck, and it floats down the stream, and I catch it and I find her, and blah, 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 blah. We sit around a campfire and talk about our lives. That's what got us into New York City. And so that's really the special one that we did was My Rose. And she brought it off. I mean, she saved Dry Creek with that and her acting in it.
Oh, that's cool.
Does she have a preferred genre, or does she like the Western as well?
You know, she likes Hallmark movies. She loves Hallmark movies, and but as far as her acting and stuff, I think
we have done a review on Hallmark movies.
That was fun.
Well, I always say that a script, at least Dry Creek, and she kind of feels the same when we're watching something. It has to have heart. It's got to have meaning. It's got to touch my heartstrings. It's got to make me laugh. It's got to make me sad. It's got to do all those things. And when I can find something like that to watch, I'm over here like as a man. By the way, I've started a fire down here, just so you guys know. I've got a little campfire going. So I'm manly. But
he's manly.
You know, I like beer. She's not looking. I'll wipe the tear out of my eye, you know, because it touches me. And I like that type of thing.
Yeah. Now, have you seen The Chosen, Les?
Yes. Love it.
Yeah, that's all crowdfunded, and they
you
start off with no money. That's cool.
Yeah, that was the biggest crowdfunder there ever was. Watch the first 2 seasons. I love it, and we've got someone. Matter of fact, that an AD that was just here that went out to Texas and they just filmed the 5,000 eating, you know, the loaf of bread, and was one of the extras. Felt that, and they just did it last week, matter of fact. But yeah, Dallas, the director creator on that show, they've got something special with that show, and I'm glad it's getting out there. You bet.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, it seems like more fan-funded independent films. There's a rise in that.
Mhm.
Like you were saying, the family values and things like that, and even it goes beyond family values, but just as we would say around here, the woke agenda. People are so tired of all these bizarre things or more adult topics being filtered through everything that we watch nowadays, and people are like, we're also, the creativity seems to be like just gone, and we're just rehashing old stuff. And so a lot of crowdfunded fan films, independent films are rising up to create brand new stuff for us. It seems like this is the way for our decade.
Yeah, to get it out there, because so many of your studios have gone woke, I guess is the word or whatever. And that's the way to get it out there. I've always said with Dry Creek, if I could get this much of the audience holding my fingers up together, like just a little bit like a pinch, if I only had that much of America, that's a large audience that would watch your stuff. But it's finding a network stuff that will run it and take a chance on. Isn't it sad, if you really think about it, that love, all the values that I grew up in, working hard, loving your wife. I've often said, and I hope you don't kick me off the air on this, that I'm the most controversial man in America today. I love my wife. I'm a white older guy, and I'm the most controversial man in America today. Isn't that sad?
I don't know. People get on Dan's case pretty
if you
often.
really think about it. Well, he is pretty controversial. He's real controversial.
That's right.
I wear it proudly.
Oh. But just showing love and compassion and, in your scripts and stuff like that. And I was always taught, my dad was a World War II veteran. I'll tell you a quick story. We were going to LA International Airport to pick up somebody, and the Holly Christianoff guys were out there, and they were dancing around with their tambourines, and I started laughing. And my dad almost slapped me. He says, "Don't you ever laugh at another man's religion or person's religion." He says, "That's what I fought for in the war." He says, "You don't have to go along with them or whatever, but you respect them." And that's the same with feelings. I hope that it gets back to where we can agree to disagree. You see what I'm saying? I don't have to hate you because you like Star Wars, and I'm not really into Star Wars. I'm not going to argue with you. God bless you for liking Star Wars, seriously. And you shouldn't hate me because I like Western. Oh, now there you go.
That's right. But you're right. You're right. Absolutely. It's time to be adults once again. We're too long. We're acting like children, being mad because somebody doesn't like the same things that we do. It's absolutely ridiculous where we spend our energy arguing about things, for sure.
Yeah.
Exactly. That is so true. Even my buddy says that's true. Isn't that true?
Oh, well, he has the best opinion out of all of us.
When are we going to play?
Love it.
Well, Dan, I'm just letting you know.
You're out of questions. Out of questions.
Pretty much. Just letting you know, my list was very long.
What's that, Les?
I said I'm out of answers, but I will say this: thank you for inviting me, and tell your brother hi. And I like her. She's a good one. She's a good one.
She is.
I try. I do. It's Jesus. It's Jesus.
Are you in New York too?
No.
Are you in New York?
I'm in North Carolina.
Now where? Oh, North Carolina. There you go. North Carolina. You're in North Carolina.
I'm not a Carolina girl though.
And Dan.
I just live here.
That's fun.
That's a beautiful state, though. My sister lives in North Carolina in Jacksonville, and loves it there. And they have great barbecue, by the way. So.
They do have good barbecue.
Well, I
here.
guess I'll let you guys go. Yeah. If you're out of questions, and I've got to go play frisbee with the dog.
All right.
And,
well, David does
I'll let
say
you
hello,
guys
by
go.
the way. David's in the chat, so he was
Oh,
saying
tell
hello.
him I said it. Okay. Give him a big. I was kissing David.
Yeah.
Is that considered? Can that be classified as harassment anymore in the day and age that we live in?
Well, it might. I don't know. Harassment is not playing frisbee with my. That's harassment. All right. Well, I'll let you guys go, and thanks for spending the time with me, man. I really appreciate it, Dan. I hope we can do this again.
Yeah, of course. Definitely.
Thanks for calling the old cowboy.
That's right, old cowboy.
All right, my friends.
All right. Well, we'll say goodbye. All right, bye, Les. I guess he's gonna go before us. Bye. So everybody in the chat, thanks for being here. Thanks for being around with Les here, and we'll just say thank you and goodbye to everybody.
And happy Father's Day.
Sorry, what was that? Happy Father's Day?
I was going to say happy Father's Day, and just to let everybody know that we have Girls' Night on Tuesday with an awesome panel. So just wanted that way everybody who may not have gotten the memo, we are doing cringy manly movies on Tuesday and comparing women's views of masculinity with some of the most uber masculine movies that are ever produced in cinema. So Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we got a host of awesome ladies coming. Girls' Night, not just for the ladies. Carry on, Dan.
All right. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for being here.
Are you not entertained?